Well, we've officially hit August and reached the time where most of the bribas are going to be ripe in the garden. So today we're going to do 3 different kinds of figs for you. First off, I actually just want to do real quick little video here on the Shiro plum. So again, this year it isn't super productive. It's definitely enough for myself and the family to eat, but you know, it's not super loaded. There's probably a little bit more than a dozen plums on here, and the reason behind that is because I didn't have a pollinator on this tree, and so the fruit production, it's self-fertile, but it could do better with a pollinator. So I bought this guy. This is a Satsuma plum, and it is a Japanese plum that will help pollinate the Shiro. So between these two being right next to each other, next year I want to show you guys what that's gonna do as far as affecting the production on this tree. Okay, so we are here in my greenhouse. It is the Princesa. I believe I bought this off of Harvey, and now that I look at this tree, I can tell that it is a pretty productive tree. This is the fig right here. That is beautiful. Nice, bright, greenish yellow color. A little bit of a wide eye, but it's been in the greenhouse, and so it hasn't really affected how it'll split or anything like that. And it's doing well here. Whoops. Judging by how floppy that is on the limb, it's either really dry or really ripe. So we'll pick that guy today. It's a picture of the leaf. Okay. And then here to the right of it is a Genovese Nero. I got this in the self-watering pot. Gen Nero. And it is looking like it's ripe and ready to pick. So unfortunately, the stick that I have in here to brace the plant has affected how it's grown, and it's kind of wedged in between the stick and the trunk of the tree, and it is a briba. So this will be the first time I get a taste of this guy, as well as the Princesa. From some reports, I heard the Princesa was voted as one of the better tasting figs at some of the get-togethers, and so I'm pretty excited about tasting that guy. So let's check out the third fig. Okay, so this is fig row, and I've got a whole bunch of different kinds of trees here on a couple different shelves, and this one, I purchased this as a magnolia. Now, from some accounts, I thought magnolia was the same as Brunswick. Now, this is a briba as well. And it doesn't look like a Brunswick. I bought this off of one of the nurseries, I think, that sells on eBay. Could have been Hertz, I'm not quite sure. I have to look back. This tree is about 3 years old, I think. And this, to me, looks a lot more like a Marseilles or even a Gillette. We've already done a review on the Gillette, so if it is a Gillette, I'll be kind of disappointed, to be honest with you. Okay, so let's pick them. Okay, right. Let's go get our Princesa. And let's get the Genovese Nero. Okay, let's see if we can rip this guy off without destroying it. Whoops. There we go. Kind of an ugly looking Briba. Hopefully it tastes better than it looks. You can see the leaf structure here, very reminiscent of the black Madeira. Okay, now that we have them pulled off of the tree, I've got them here on the table and they look delicious. Now, all of these are Bribas, actually. It is only the beginning of August, and so these are kind of the later Bribas compared to some of the other figs that we've already tried. This is the Genovese Nero. This is not Rob's. This is Raffed's. You can tell because it's not as big and it's got more of that bell shape, black Madeira shape to it. And this is the Princesa Briba. This is beautiful. This is a beautiful looking fig. And this one is the Magnolia, which now I'm starting to think that whoever sold this to me did not sell me. The Magnolia, and I'm starting to believe the longer I look at this thing that it's not really a Magnolia and that it's something else and maybe even a Gillette, but I'm not quite sure. So either it got mixed up or I know I definitely didn't mix it up because it actually has the tag from the actual nursery still on there that calls it Magnolia. They're supposed to look a little bit more like Brunswick, and that's definitely not a Brunswick. Okay, so I actually had to move into the greenhouse because there's a crow out there that's giving a lot of background music, and my kids are doing the same. So, here we go. Let's weigh this thing. Genovese Nero, looking at 52 grams. Princesa, 45.2. And then the Magnolia, which I don't really think that it is 22 and a half. So the reason why I measure everything and then kind of do this whole process is I also keep fig scores on my blog for every single fig that I taste every single year, actually starting since 2016. And I judge them based on flavor. And then secondly, I judge it on productivity and size. So, it gives the figs an overall score. And then depending on what you prefer in a fig, flavor or productivity or size, you can kind of base what fig you might like, based on some of the reviews I've done using those scores. Okay, let's cut these guys open and see what they look like. Let's start with the Gen Nero. Ooh. It might be ugly on the outside, but it still has the juiciness and color of a really good black Madeira. This thing probably could have used another day. Black Madeiras don't put out Bribas. So this is kind of interesting for me to see. Okay, that's the Princesa, and I'll give you guys a close-up on these figs. And this is the so-called Magnolia, which now I believe is either Gillette or Marseilles. Okay, so now you can see all the figs and what they look like on the inside. This is the so-called Magnolia, which now I don't believe that it is. Anyway, so this is the Princesa. Look at that. It's a good-looking fig. Beautiful color on it. And then the Genovese Nero. Look at all that nectar and honey in there. Looks delicious. Well, start right here with this guy. This is the so-called Magnolia. It definitely is not a Gillette. This is more of like a Marseille. Smaller one, but it's pretty good. Sweet, kind of honey-like. Lots of seed crunch in it. And, I might just relabel it and just kind of keep it anyways, because it's actually not too bad. Let's try out the Princesa. Okay. Very, very mild. Very, very mild. It's actually less sweet than the Magnolia that I just tried. It's a little bit more melon tones actually, which I like. So, not a bad fig, it's pretty good. And let's try the Genovese Nero. Okay. That one's pretty good. Like I said, it probably could have used another day. Picked it probably a little bit early, but based off of how wilted it was on the tree, one, I didn't want to lose it to critters, and then two, I'm over anxious. So I definitely wanted to taste it. So this fig, the Genovese Nero, has a little bit more acid to it. Definitely has some berry tones and cherry tones to it, and then it's good. I actually like it. I know it's weird. The sweetest fig was that not Magnolia that I tried, the Marseilles, and I kind of like that one almost the best out of today. So I don't know. It's weird, but it was good. Marseilles, Princesa, and Genovese Nero. I kind of like the sweetness of this one the most. This has more of a melony tone, and this guy's got more acid compared to all three of them. If you combined all three of them, they probably would make a really good meal. So that's probably what I'll do, and share the other half to the kids and my wife. You know, if you like these kind of videos, guys, please subscribe. I do appreciate it. And, you know, I just hope that you all find these videos informative when making buying decisions for fig varieties, and maybe you can find a little bit of information from these videos that you can't online or through the forums. So that's why I keep making them. I enjoy making them. Who doesn't like eating figs, right? So if you like it, subscribe. I appreciate your time, you guys. Till the next one. Bye-bye. There you go, Nolan. Say yummy? You don't like that one? That's the stem, that's why. Yum? Is that good? You want to share with Ba? No? Ooh, okay.